today's video, I wanted to talk about the handsome man's game. Now, this is a topic that actually inspired me to get into the YouTube game. I don't think there's anything that I've been able to relate to more. I have to assume, if you're watching this video, you are probably a handsome guy. I would classify and define that as someone who is perceived as good looking by both women and men. Now, I am not somebody who's always been considered good looking, at least not traditionally. It's a much better existence being handsome. Before I get into the handsome man's problems, I first want to identify some of the benefits. Some of the benefits that come with being a good looking fella, okay? Number one, people are much nicer to you when you're handsome. They're just nicer to you. People want to treat you nicer because you are perceived as having value. And that value translates into people being nicer to you, at least to your face. Number two is they're more inclined to listen to you and trust what you say when you speak. Number three, which is I think the best benefit, is that you stand out in a crowd, which is a benefit. You know, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Why would you want to be like anyone else? And number four, you're more confident with yourself. Because of the reception that you get as a result of being handsome, because of the positive reinforcement that you receive externally, you're more likely to feel like you can achieve what you want. You're more likely to project confidence, and that confidence translates into more opportunity, more connections, you know, and confidence is a key part of this game of life because you need to believe in yourself in order to achieve what you want. Those are the main 4 benefits that come with being handsome, which are all great perks. I enjoy the benefits of those perks. I've seen those play out in my own life where I'm able to access and achieve more because of the perception other people have about me. I see the benefits 100%, but now I want to talk about what are some of the cons. All good things aren't easy, okay? They're gonna come with strife. The same thing with being, you know, rich versus poor. You know, there's a famous saying, more money, more problems. Being rich doesn't mean that all your problems go away. It just means that you get a new set of problems. The same thing with being handsome. Far better to be handsome than to be poor. 100%. But you do have more problems. Number one, dating actually becomes harder. Finding attraction becomes easier, but dating becomes harder. If you're a handsome man, let's say you're an 8 to a 10, most women will assume that you're a player, and they'll assume that they actually don't have a shot with you. Most non-attractive women will reject you as part of an ego boost because it makes them feel better about themselves. Women actually prefer being the good-looking ones in the relationship. I mean, that's why it's so common to see women who are 7s or 8s dating guys who are, you know, 6s, 5s, or even 4s, right? And they do this because it gives them a false sense of security, because they believe in their head that if they give a guy who is a 6 or a 7 a chance, he will feel so lucky to be dating them that he's not gonna go out and cheat, or he's not gonna go out and find a better option because in their mind, they think they're doing charity work. The ego manifests itself as a result of insecurity. So because they're insecure in how they look, they will pursue guys who are lesser than them so that they feel this false sense of superiority. So as a handsome guy, you might experience this where, you know, you might be chatting with a girl who you think is attractive, but because in her mind, she's insecure and she thinks that you think you're a player, she is going to pre-reject you. So she's attracted to you, but she doesn't want to date you because of the insecurity. You know what I'm saying? That's issue number one. Now, number two is that people are going to prejudge you. People are going to have this assumption in their head that you are an egotistical maniac because you're handsome. When you're a handsome guy, people recognize that you're handsome and they assume that you know that you're handsome and that it plays into your ego. So people are going to prejudge you as a player or being cocky or being super confident, or they'll perceive your self-confidence as having an ego problem. I've had coworkers come up to me and say, you know, you have a bit of an ego. I'm like, I don't think I do. I just know myself and I believe in myself. When you believe in yourself and you're competent, that is a dangerous combination. You're gonna cast a shadow. You're gonna have ops. You are going to have people who hate your fucking guts and who are gonna try to like dismantle you and destroy you, okay? That's the reality that you live in. This is part of the game. Part of the game is understanding that you are going to cast a lot of fucking shadows and you are gonna make a lot of people insecure. And that's just how it is. You have to accept that and you have to deal with it. Dealing with it just means saying, all right, cool. Y'all are insecure, but fuck it, I'm just doing my thing. I'm me. I'm not worried about what you think. I have better things to worry about. No matter what you do, if you try a new hobby, if you get success, if you fail, there's always gonna be vultures just waiting for your downfall and waiting for you to fuck up. Okay, so you can't get rid of those enemies. So you just have to find a way to live with them. Problem number 3 is that people aren't gonna want to see you win. Kind of as a way to not be lonely, because we all know misery loves company. Miserable people love to be miserable together. So if you stop being miserable, you've got a target on your back, man. That's the way of the road. That's the name of the game. So deal with it. Yeah. Another aspect of people trying to bring you down is that they're gonna view you as competition. The reality is, they're in competition with themselves, but they're also trying to bring you down. It's inspired me to elevate my own standard, okay? When I sense people are competing with me, I'm just like, okay, you wanna go, let's fucking go. You know, I'm not competing with you, but if you wanna go, we'll go. If you wanna see who's the best, if you wanna see who can actually handle their shit, I'll show you. Okay, competition is gonna come, so you're gonna have to handle that competition. It's a dangerous game. It's a very interesting game. It can be funny at times. It can really be ridiculous. I'll share an experience that I had with a coworker. He and I were working on a project. We had the same job. We literally had the same job. We were doing the same thing pretty much. But there were instances where I would sense that he was trying to undermine me. If I was away from the office or doing work from home days, he would go into my system and access my files and go into and try and do my work for me. As like, hey bro, I was just trying to help, bro. I was just trying to help. They asked me to do it, but no. He was trying to undermine me. So I just said, all right, okay, like you wanna go, let's go. I'll show you what I'm made of and I'll show you what this is. And end of the day, you know, he ended up finding out. I like that. I like having people try to test me. And you're gonna be tested too. Like, I believe there's a reason why you exist as a handsome man. You're not meant to be normal. You're not meant to be like everyone else. You're meant to be challenged. You're meant to be tested. This test is meant to craft you into a meticulous and articulate specimen who can rise to any challenge. I believe that's why I was born. That's why I was born. And that's why you were born too. Because these looks are a gift. This is a gift from the universe, from Ra, from God, from Krishna. Whoever you believe in, you were made to have this physical attraction, but also the mental capacity to handle this physicality. So people are gonna be in competition with you, but that's a good thing because it makes you stronger. It makes you more competent. It makes you believe in yourself more, okay? I know that was a little bit of a rant, but that's issue number 3. Issue number 4. Now, because life is gonna be incredibly competitive for you, because most people aren't gonna be rooting for you, because you're gonna get stabbed in the back, bad-mouthed, and all this other nonsense, you're gonna be lonely. It's gonna be tough to find people that understand you. And I have found that there are very few guys who really understand what it means to be going through this. There's very few people who can really relate to this struggle. And that's why I'm making content, right? That's why I'm making this video, is because I understand how lonely it is being confident, being smart, being articulate, being competitive. It's gonna be lonely. Be comfortable with that loneliness. Don't be intimidated by it. As a matter of fact, embrace it. Because as you learn that other people are competing with you, it almost compels you to be more reserved and to be more individualistic, to be more stoic about things, just to be more self-reliant, right? Because you have to be, because this is all in an effort to make you stronger. So loneliness is going to be a part of it, you know? You're not gonna have that many friends who understand you, and even if you do have friends, they're probably trying to fuck you over. They're probably not even rooting for you. So that's gonna be part of it. Deal with it. Yeah, that's just the reality of it, man. That's just the reality. So I've learned to embrace it. I've learned to, I think I only have like, I've got buddies, I've got old friends who I know and I love and I trust. I only have one best friend who really understand this, and that's my partner. It's my girlfriend. She's a star. She's a 30 out of 10, the most beautiful woman on the planet. The funny thing is, women actually relate to the troubles of a handsome man in the same way. They have the same problems. So she truly understands me, and she's a godsend. I don't know how she came into my life. Fucking thank God for Hinge, okay? But the truth is, it's gonna be lonely. So, you know, try to find somebody who understands you, but if you don't, then that's fine. You know, you will at some point, but learn to deal with the loneliness. Don't surround yourself with people who actually hate your guts just for the sake of not being lonely, okay? Learn to handle it, learn to deal with it. Embrace it. The moments you have with yourself, by yourself, are where the actual work happens. Those are the moments where you actually build yourself into the person that you're supposed to be. So embrace the loneliness, man. It's gonna come, so deal with it. Issue number 5, last issue, is that you might run into the risk of having an identity crisis. Because on the one hand, you are receiving all this information that, you know, you're handsome, you're this, you're that. But on the other hand, you find that people fucking hate you for no reason, you know? So you're gonna be questioning yourself a lot. You're gonna be questioning, who am I? What am I doing wrong? Am I worth loving, or am I worth, you know, do I deserve friends? Do I deserve good things to happen to me? The truth is, you do. You absolutely do. But the things that you want, you're gonna have to take. You're gonna have to demand better for yourself, and you're gonna have to be cold-blooded, because you do deserve all these things, friendship, companionship, but they're not gonna come easily to you. As I said, there's a reason why you're built like this, okay? Being handsome is a burden. It's a burden, and that's a cross that you bear, because it's meant to develop you, it's meant to refine you, it's meant to make you better. So the identity crisis that you face, you're gonna have to come out of it on the other side being far more confident in yourself, and far more self-reliant, and far more knowledgeable about yourself. You're really gonna have to know yourself. That's the main thing. It's gonna challenge all the preconceptions that you've had about yourself, your purpose, what you're doing wrong, what you're not doing wrong. It's gonna be tough, but that's part of it. And these are the problems of being a handsome man. These are the problems most people don't know, except you and me. So, yeah. That's the handsome man's game in a nutshell. Here's what you can do. Number 1 is just to own it. Just own it. You're a good looking dude. You're gonna have people dislike you for the fact that you're good looking. Own it. Own it, accept it, love yourself for it. Do not blame yourself, because there is nothing wrong with you. I mean, that's not to say that you're not gonna have your own problems. I mean, there's a lot of introspection that you're gonna have to do. There's a lot of work that I've had to do with regard to learning how to deal with people and learning how to handle people. Ultimately, you're gonna have to own it. You're gonna have to accept the fact that there's probably only gonna be like 5 people in your life, if you're lucky, who are truly going to understand what it is that you go through and are truly gonna understand this experience. So loneliness is part of it. To find people who can understand and relate to what you are talking about is gonna be rare. Number 3, you have to make a conscious decision to selectively pick women who are on your level or above. If you're a 9, you need to be dating a 9 or a 10. If you're an 8, you need to be dating an 8, a 9, or a 10. If you're a 7, you need to be dating a 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're a 10, you need to be dating a 12, okay? If your partner feels like you're more attractive than they are, that is going to make for a very, very not fun relationship. So your task is to not settle for people who aren't going to understand and appreciate this. And the type of woman that you're gonna wanna try to find is a woman who I would call, or shout out to Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a real OG who really went into depth about this. I'll put it as I'll put the video in the bio. In the bio? I'll put it in the description. Forgetting this is YouTube I'm talking to. Part of the game is finding a woman who Rom Wills would call a star. You're not gonna find her in the club. You're not gonna find her in the bars, okay? She is the most beautiful woman in her community, in her town, in her village, and she is like at the library. She's at work. She doesn't give into this fast male approval, dopamine seeking, social media posting, you know, iced caramel latte sipping lifestyle, okay? She is about her business. My girlfriend, who is a star, God, I love this woman. She's an artist, and I don't know how I found her. Hinge. Shout out Hinge, maybe they should be sponsoring this video. I don't know how I found, okay. These types of women are so rare, so special, so unique that once you find one, you'll know you found one. She understands the lonely existence that comes with being handsome or with being beautiful. And so she probably herself only has like one friend. She probably has no friends because all her friends view her as competition and all her friends are trying to undermine her. Friends, right? So she's probably just at work, at the library. She's just doing her own thing, and that is the woman that you need to try to find. Not only do you both have this attraction thing in common, you both also understand each other to such a high level that the bond, the human to human understanding is gonna be like instantaneous. And also it's gonna make you guys cherish each other more because you understand how unique you are. I don't think I've come to having a relationship that's like this, ever. That's the kind of woman that you have to try to find as a handsome man. Find a star, you know, get off the dating apps. Cause I mean, I found my star on Hinge, but, you know, like these other stars are probably not on there. They've probably given up. At the time that we found each other on Hinge, she was about to delete that shit. She was about to like, get rid of it, you know? She was done with dating. She was gonna play for the other team at this point. And then I came along, and then we found each other, understood each other, and the rest is history. So this is the handsome man's game. It's gonna be tough, but you're tougher. So let's get at it, King. If you've come this far in the video, thank you. My God. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of different topics. I'm still trying to find my footing and how I'm trying to brand myself, but my goal here is to create a community of young men who are trying to navigate this new world that we live in. So more exciting videos to come. I appreciate you. Dare I say I love you. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me because this means a lot to me personally. And I appreciate you. So I'll see you on the next one.